Hello, in this video, we're focusing on the practical concepts that you can actually apply in the real business world. Hope you enjoy it. Let's get on with it. In today's fast-changing and complex business environment, it's easy to get stuck making small improvements without truly transforming the way we work. First principles thinking offers a different approach by encouraging us to break down problems to their most basic, undeniable truths. Rather than relying on assumptions or how things have traditionally been done, this method comes from philosophy and physics and invites us to start fresh, building new solutions from the ground up. This way of thinking has been used by great innovators throughout history and is especially relevant now as businesses face constant pressure to innovate, cut costs, and navigate uncertainty. By focusing on what we know for certain, questioning our assumptions, and imagining how things would look if we designed them from scratch, we can find solutions that aren't just better, but fundamentally different. This presentation will explain the core ideas behind first principles thinking, how it applies to business, and what leaders can learn from it through real examples. First principles thinking is different from reasoning by analogy, where companies simply copy competitors, follow industry norms, or rely on past decisions. Instead, this approach helps organizations break free from incremental changes and create breakthrough innovations by challenging assumptions and imagining solutions others overlook. It also leads to cost reductions by identifying unnecessary steps or outdated processes. Leaders benefit from better strategic decisions because they understand the core drivers of a problem, and teams can solve issues faster by focusing on facts rather than opinions. This mindset fosters stronger organizational learning by encouraging curiosity and honesty. To apply this thinking, start by clearly defining the problem so you're addressing the right issue. For example, instead of asking how to increase sales, ask what stops customers from buying more today. Then, break the problem down into its most basic truths before exploring solutions. To start breaking down a problem, we first need to identify the core facts that are undeniably true. These are like the basic building blocks or atoms of the problem. It helps to ask questions such as what we know for certain, which constraints are real versus assumed, and what would still hold true even if the entire industry vanished tomorrow. The next important step is to identify assumptions and challenge them, since many times assumptions are mistaken for facts. For example, beliefs like customers won't pay more, this process must take 10 days, or we need a physical store might seem true but should be tested. Once we've stripped the problem to its fundamentals, we can start rebuilding the solution from the ground up, considering new ways to put those elements together. Asking questions like what we would build today with no legacy constraints, what a simplified version might look like, or how we would handle it with fewer resources, opens the door to innovative thinking. Finally, this thinking is not just theoretical. It requires testing, iterating, and refining based on real feedback and learning. A great example of first principles thinking in action is SpaceX, which has radically changed space travel costs by rethinking everything from the ground up. Traditional aerospace companies accepted that rockets had to be used once and then discarded. SpaceX challenged this by asking what the core components of a rocket are and why they couldn't be reused. By analyzing the materials, physics, and engineering involved, they designed rockets that could be flown multiple times, cutting launch costs dramatically by up to 90%. Similarly, Tesla questioned the high cost of battery packs by breaking down the problem into raw materials, manufacturing processes, and supply chain inefficiencies. By redesigning these aspects from the ground up, Tesla was able to significantly lower battery costs, which helped speed up electric vehicle adoption. Amazon shifted its thinking from improving store operations to focusing on the fundamental goal of retail, delivering products to customers efficiently. This insight drove innovations like online-first retail, automated fulfillment centers, same-day delivery, and Amazon Prime. Ryanair rethought what airline customers truly want, mainly cheap and safe travel. By making extras like meals, seat selection, and baggage optional, they developed a highly profitable business model focused on essential customer needs. Lastly, Toyota pioneered lean manufacturing by stripping production down to its essential processes, which revolutionized efficiency in the auto industry. All these examples show how first principles thinking breaks down assumptions to uncover core truths that drive innovative solutions. Toyota challenged the common belief that large batch production was necessary, revealing a fundamental truth: inventory often hides inefficiencies. This insight led to transformative practices like just-in-time production, continuous improvement, and waste elimination, which collectively became the foundation of lean manufacturing, now adopted worldwide. When applied to business thinking, first principles thinking offers several advantages. It unlocks radical innovation by allowing companies to develop unique solutions based on different assumptions, making them hard for competitors to copy. It also breaks down outdated constraints such as legacy habits and cultural norms, which lose their influence when re-examined from core truths. This approach improves clarity and focus by aligning teams around what is factually true rather than assumed, fostering intellectual honesty as leaders face difficult truths instead of opting for easy shortcuts. Additionally, it enhances adaptability, enabling organizations to respond more quickly to disruptions. However, this method requires significant time and effort because it involves deep analysis to distill problems down to their essential truths. Challenging assumptions can feel uncomfortable because it may disrupt established power structures or long-standing practices. It's important to recognize that first principles thinking isn't always necessary. Sometimes problems are better addressed through proven best practices or small incremental improvements. Applying this approach requires strong analytical skills, as teams need to carefully distinguish facts from assumptions to avoid errors. There is also a risk of oversimplification. If leaders remove too much context, they might miss important practical constraints that affect the solution. Despite these challenges, first principles thinking remains a powerful tool. It helps cut through complexity by breaking problems down to their fundamental truths, enabling organizations to innovate, reduce costs, and make smarter decisions. While it's not a quick fix, with discipline and curiosity, it becomes a competitive advantage that helps businesses spot opportunities and create solutions others might not see. For leaders facing uncertainty or transformation, this mindset provides a solid foundation to rethink their business models and redefine what's possible. Hello. If this video was useful, you'll find some more useful business and finance topics on the channel. And thank you very much for watching.